Welcome to another edition of Clippers and Tippers, all thanks to Tyrepower. Last week Maury had to do Wayne Hawkes' hair, which was a pretty easy job, but he's got a bigger challenge this week. He's got a far better looking man in the chair as well. Michael Kent Jr., welcome to Clippers and Tippers.
Glad to be here. I'm heard he's very good.
Yes,
so...
Michael.
Don't stuff it up, Murray.
Michael's he's probably I reckon he's nearly the greatest metrosexual in the trading ranks these days. And he goes to Chirac and usually gets a shampoo and conditioner. But he's come to you today, Maury. So...
No shampoo.
Clippers and Tippers, it's all about great punting stories, Michael. Now, would you believe Wayne Hawkes? I don't know if he made a few of them up last week, but they were, I didn't mind them.
The jury's out on the factual information on those stories.
I don't know how many times D. Beeman rode that horse or not, but it was a good story regarding Kerry Packer. Your stable doesn't mind a punt, and I know you don't mind a punt from time to time.
We're a very commercial stable. We're always trying to win, but I'm a big one for when you know you've got a Saturday or group class horse having their first start. For me, that's when the money's on.
Yeah.
There might be one tonight, Gareth, but this will be aired later on. But that's when I like to have a bet, because if things go wrong in the run, the horse has got a 3 or 4 length advantage on the field already. So,
is there certain jockeys that you put on when you know that you're going to have a punt?
Well, if you go and put on Blake Shin, Mark Zara, the market reacts and halves the quote. So we don't think like that. We're doing the best thing for the horse to win. Yeah. There are some clients that will ask us if we can try and,
Craig Williams?
Not necessarily. No, but that's so. Yeah, but we've had a lot of luck, I would say, punting debutants.
Yes. Mostly.
You get a horse like Reserve Bank at his first start, or I remember What You Need when he won at Geelong in his first start. He ended up being the Coolmore favourite thereafter, and they gave you sort of $4 when it opened. Yeah. So you were very confident going in.
Your greatest day on the punt?
I had a horse that Mick and I owned half, and he had a tendon injury, and we brought him all the way back up, and I knew he was very fit. He had 3 trials, and he was flying, and he was a genuine Saturday class horse, having his 3rd start back from a long break, but he was just airborne, and they offered $4 at Pakenham one night. Jay Carr was on, and I just couldn't have been more confident, and it was the biggest bet I've had in my life.
What price?
I paid $4.
No, what did it open up at?
It might have been 5s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was probably the only one on him, but he won, God bless, and that was a really good personal victory.
Yeah. Extra satisfying, I guess, when you can get a horse back from a tendon and set it up like that for a kill.
Yeah, exactly. But so I'm not one for like these 7-8 leg multis. Yeah. But I really try and wait once a month, one that I think all the ducks are in a row, and I think you got to. Being a trainer, you know what can go wrong with horses. Yeah. Every little detail has to be right.
So who's a better judge, Michael, yourself or Mick Price? Because we know Mick doesn't pump, but when I've interviewed him a few times on radio, and when he likes one, they usually win. You
get the absolute truth how Mick sees it on radio. That's exactly how he tells it to the owners, how you hear it on radio.
Yeah.
I think we're both good judges. If you ask the boys in my chat group on WhatsApp, they might disagree, but I always find when someone tries to force a tip out of you, you don't give them the right. You mightn't have one. They try and ask you one. Oh, what's your best?
Yeah.
If I can wait for a few weeks to have really a good one, then tell them, that's probably a better way to go about it.
So, from an owner's perspective, you've got a lot of owners. You train for a lot of the biggest owners in the country, and a lot of your mates as well. And who's the mate that always is asking you for the tip?
Got one mate.
Yeah.
He's a Group 1 pest. He's owned several Group 1 winners too.
Yes.
He's won an AFL premiership with the Bulldogs, and you'll hate me mentioning his name, but his name's Tory. You can work out the last name.
Dixon.
He would call me 14 times a day. I'd probably screen about 10 of those. And he'd call me at 9 o'clock. What are you doing? I'm working. What do you think I'm doing? I'm at track work. But yeah, he's been very lucky in all walks of life. We say he's kissed on the B's appendage.
Yeah.
He won an AFL premiership. He was drafted as an older age draftee. And as his first horse was Merchant Navy, second horse was Super Seth.
Yeah.
I've got a good yarn for you.
Yeah.
He's got one of the best punting stories, Tory.
Yeah.
So I think it was 4 years ago, he had a 7-leg win multi, and then he had all the legs, but had the 6-leg, 5-leg, 4-leg, and on a Saturday afternoon, it was Bendigo Guineas Day.
Yeah.
We had 2 winners that day. He had about 5 legs up. Anavisto was the 6th leg of ours. Won the Bendigo Guineas easily.
I remember
And
that.
the last race of the day, we had Fighting Harada in, and he was favourite. And I had about 4 missed calls from Tory. I finally took one. I'm literally saddling up, and he's like, I've called Hayes. They can't win. I've done the form. What about you just pull your horse out, just scratch it, jokingly scratch it. I said, don't worry. I said, just leave it to me. It'll be right. It'll be right. Anyway, sure enough, Dean Yendall in the 1-1. He won by 2 lengths.
Because he was on your horse.
He backed Fighting Harada. It was the last leg. Got up. He was set to win about 300.
Yeah.
But with deductions, he got 160,000. And I mentioned I was a bit excited about the win for him. I mentioned it on TV, and he's never forgiven me. Like Herald Sun called him the next day. He was in the back page. He was on punters.com. Everyone was ringing him for a story. RSN the next 2 weeks had him on doing Dicko's multis. The next 2 weeks he couldn't get a winner, and they sacked him.
I got a bone to pick with him as well, because he got me in trouble, Tory. Because one day I rang you up for a story about bustling when you purchased him from WA, and I rang you up and I said, I heard you've got this horse. You go, yeah, but we're just finalising the deal here, so don't go with it.
The deal wasn't done yet.
No, so I said, yeah, no problems, mate. So I wake up that afternoon, I must have had a big night out, I went to sleep. I had 5 missed phone calls from you. You said, I can't believe you did that to me, Gareth. Campbell Brown has put on X that Bustling's going to Michael Kent Jr.'s stable, Mick Price will be set for the Everest. And you told him, because you're the only person I really told. I said, I haven't talked to Brownie for a while. And he was in Las Vegas, and Tory was blind with him and gave you up. And Brownie put it on X. He's never broken a racing story ever in his life.
Oh no, I got in trouble for that one. There was no money in the bank yet, and it was all over Twitter from Campbell Brown in a nightclub in Vegas. And I was upset with you. Sorry about that.
No,
It wasn't your fault.
No, I blame Tory. Now this is Clippers and Tippers, so we need a tip. We are Duckies. We've had 2 episodes, and we've got close. We've been beaten photo finishes, but we haven't got the chocolates yet, and we're in desperate need of a winner, Michael.
Righto. So how much have I got?
You get $50, because you get $50 because it's 50 for the haircut.
Righto. So we'll have 30 to win on Otago.
Yes.
You've missed the price possibly. It might get out a little bit, but he's a group horse. He's going through the grades. His first up run was enormous behind King Zephyr. We rode him stone cold from the back, and he flew home. He's had 4 weeks between runs. Don't worry about second up syndrome like they're talking about on the radio. Just jump on. It'll be very hard to beat. Barrier 1, naturally some concern, but Ben Mellum's on. And then I'll have 10 each way in race 1. Hopefully you're already up. Frost Snip. She's 1 for 1. She's one of our better 2-year-old fillies. Only cost 28,000, Gareth.
That is a bargain these days.
Shrewd purchase from Adelaide.
Do you keep a share?
I didn't keep a share, wasn't offered, but it's a very smart race, this actually.
Yep.
Saluted's very smart. I know Clinton McDonald really likes Miss Olay, and we've got Rosangela as well in the race, but I think Frostnip at $7 is a really good each way bet. She'll roll forward, Jay Mallam on, she's going super. It's a heavy track in Sydney. I like She's Unusual for Johnny O'Shea, but they might not get to that last race in Sydney on Saturday. There's 40 to 80 mils
there's
today.
50 mils on a Friday as well. So I'm going to go to WA, one of my favourites.
Oh, here we go.
Grant and Alana Williams train this galloper. He won the Gold Rush over 1,400 metres. His name's Western Empire.
Yep.
Alana Williams is the best judge I know, Nelly. He
was a shrewd buy too off English Digital.
Yeah, about 150.
Yeah.
They're not they say he's going to be awfully hard to beat. So $50 straight out. I think he's around $4 at the moment. Here's the play. Now you have to wait a little longer because it's in the west, but it will be worth the wait, Michael. You've outdone yourself, Maury. That's your greatest challenge in clippers and tippers, and I'll tell you what, Michael.
I haven't seen it yet. How's it look?
No, it looks good. I don't think you don't even need product.
No, it looks good.
Top man, Maury.
No problems, mate.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for that, Michael. Appreciate it, mate. Good on you.
Thanks,
Good
boys.
luck this weekend.
Good luck, punters.
Yes. We need all the luck that we can get. Shut up, Maury. That's clippers and tippers. All thanks to Tyrepower.